Let's move now to Cape Town and pick up on our top story once more. As you know, the taxi body Santaco's stay away ends today, but it is not clear if the taxis are going to be back on the road. The Transport Minister, Sindisiwe Chikunga, is currently engaged in a meeting with Santaco, but we know that the City of Cape Town and Santaco have really been at loggerheads, the city refusing to negotiate with them while violence continued. That, of course, has died down in the past a day or so. So let's find out what's going on. Our reporter Nobesthu Hejana is joining us now. And Nobesthu, what do you know about the status of these discussions? I understand that at the moment Santaco's meeting with the Transport Minister. What do you expect to be happening in the next little while?
Sure. So, Sally, this morning we were expecting to hear from Santaco when they alerted the media that there will be a media briefing at around 11:30 this morning to sort of like inform us what is the way forward, because we do know that Santaco had called for a stay away for 7 days, and tomorrow we were expecting to see them resuming their operations as per their announcement of the stay away. But when we were in Bellville, where that meeting is currently underway, we were informed by them that they had moved the briefing to 1 o'clock because those engagements were still ongoing, and they were also attending an interfaith in town. But then a few hours ago, we were also informed that the meeting with the minister is only starting at 6 o'clock this evening. So, but what we heard from Santaco earlier is that there are still outstanding matters or issues with regards to them deciding whether to resume their operations. They were talking about the issues of the reasons why the city is impounding the vehicles, that they have a problem with those, and also looking at the traffic bylaws by the City of Cape Town. They do say they understand the NLT quite correctly, but they want to understand how come the City of Cape Town arrived in that decision to actually impound vehicles, because the laws, from what they're saying, are that a vehicle should not be impounded, but a driver, if found to be driving reckless or driving without a permit or under the influence, they will be arrested but not impound the vehicle. But what we've been hearing from the City of Cape Town is that, they are tired of issuing fines, so impounding vehicles from their side is actually showing the taxi industry that they are serious about the law and what should be followed on the roads. But at this point, we do know that meeting is currently underway in Bellville with Santaco as well as the Minister of Transport. The City of Cape Town and the provincial government are not present in that particular meeting, which is also another issue, because we would assume that at this stage, at least both parties or all these stakeholders will be willing to go into negotiations, because for the past 2 days, including today, we've not been reporting or seeing any violence or chaos on the roads. But where I am now, I am at this Cape Town bus terminus, where a number of people actually are still queuing up in hopes of going home and catching a bus, because we do know that it's a public holiday, and we would not be expecting Golden Arrow bus services to be operating on full capacity. But because it's a holiday and some people did go to work, and at this stage they are still queuing up, hoping that they will catch a bus to going home. But most of these people, Sally, they don't know what will happen tomorrow morning, whether Santaco will reach an agreement and to actually operate as per their stay away.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a difficult one, because obviously today's a public holiday, so there are less people out and about. So it's perhaps easier for people to get to and from work. But tomorrow, everyone's meant to be back at work, back at school. We know that the City of Cape Town is at this point still adamant they're not releasing those impounded vehicles unless fines are paid. And I'm wondering how the taxi stay away can come back in full force, how they can be back on the road if they've got so many vehicles impounded. What do you think? What is the prevailing theory at this point on what's going to happen tomorrow morning on the roads of Cape Town?
So, Sally, we heard from J.P. Smith, the City of Cape Town's MMC for Safety and Security, saying that for every bus or truck that is torched, he will impound about 25 taxes. And then this is also one of the issues that Santaco has, because they're saying, should they resume their services, what if then their taxes are then impounded by the City of Cape Town? So they want to be reassured that if they're going back and they're resuming their services, that will not happen. And we also did ask Mandla Hermanos whether the City of Cape Town, or rather the Santaco, will be probably approaching the courts to interdict the City of Cape Town in impounding their vehicles. And they said, I mean, it's up, they are considering such, given that they do have a court case which will be heard next year in February, challenging the City of Cape Town traffic bylaws. But I'm just going to see if I can speak to some of the commuters. How are you going to go to work? Because at this stage,
we don't know. Everything we put in the hand in the dark. We don't know what is happening. We just wake up like that. We don't know anything. You understand? Yeah, we don't know anything. If we're going to get a transport to come to work, we don't know anything. You understand? They must produce us the transport to come to work.
Just tell me about the plans that you've had to make this week, because you do understand Santaco called for a stairway, and a lot of people, especially on Thursday, they were stranded. Yeah. How were you able to come to work? Because there was also an issue of safety, especially with buses being torched.
It's only we are guessing. We wake up early in the morning just to guess if we're going to get transport to come to work, but we are not sure if we're going to get a transport to come to work. Guessing only. We wake up, we go to the station only to guess, but we are not sure if we can get a transport to come to work. And it's not fair, man. It's not fair.
All right, thank you very much, Puti.
Yeah, it's not fair, man.
Yeah. So, Sally, these are some of the sentiments shared by people, and the fact that they don't know what will happen
it's not
tomorrow.
Fair. And so that's exactly the reality, is that commuters are left not knowing what's going on. They're in the dark. They wake up to guess, as he says. It's simply not fair.
Certainly, Sally, and I mean, he's not the only one who's feeling like this. Thousands of people in the province are frustrated because, as per Santaco, the taxis were supposed to be resuming tomorrow, but there's still no confirmation. And I was speaking to one member of Santaco earlier just to understand the impact also on their side, and he was telling me that about 13,000 taxis in the province have not been operating due to this. It's hard for them as well because it's hitting in their pockets, but they feel that this is the only way that they can be able to address and to show their frustrations, especially when it comes to them opposing the City of Cape Town's traffic bylaws that were recently amended.
Right. Well, thank you so much for that update. And let's hope we get clarity sometime during the course of this evening so commuters know what's going to happen tomorrow morning in Cape Town. Thank you so much. Nobesthu Hejana coming to us from a central taxi rank in Cape Town. And I think the gentleman she spoke to just put it so well, didn't he? We just wake up to guess.